Hello everybody, Matt here back again. Trying out something different with this video. Obviously, just going to be my hands and the records I'll be talking about today. So I wanted to do a video on my Aerosmith collection. Aerosmith is one of my absolute favorite bands, and I've gotten a couple of their records. I'd like to have a little bit more, but these are the records that I currently have in my collection. So let's go ahead and take a look at these here. The first one I have here, and these are going in chronological order, I have Get Your Wings. This is a really good album. One of the, I think, four they did with Jack Douglas here, who's an amazing producer, did some really great work with him. I, like a lot of other people, really like Aerosmith's early sound, very raw, very fast, very powerful, and obviously there were some chemical reasons that was happening, but this is a really, really cool album because it has some wonderful songs on it. Same Old Song and Dance, Lord of the Thighs, Spaced, Woman of the World, SOS, Train Kept A-Rollin'. That's a really good one. Seasons of Weather, and Pandora's Box, which is another great track. Yeah, really good to have some good early Aerosmith in there. Then we've got, actually these need to be reversed here, so we're going to put that under there. We have Toys in the Attic. This is, I think I got this on CD for like my 14th birthday, I want to say, and I fell in love with it. And this was one when I started collecting vinyl, I was like, I have to get this. This has some killer tracks on here. This is the second one that they did with Jack Douglas. Toys in the Attic, obviously, Uncle Salty, which, I mean, I can't think of a better song to just like chill out to. I love to just put that song on a lazy day and just look out the window, and yeah, man, good stuff. Walk This Way, obviously, on here, and You See Me Crying, which is really, really good. You know, I love the album cover on this. I love it, so weird and stuff. And this is another one, you know, when I found it, obviously it's not in mint condition. We've got some tears and the record's a little scratched, but I like that. I think it shows the age of the record. And yeah, that's a really, really good album. But now we get into the really good stuff. This is rocks. Whew, it's not just the title of the album. This album legitimately rocks, and a lot of people have cited it as being one of their favorite Aerosmith albums. This is another one by Jack Douglas, and when you start off an album with Back in the Saddle, I mean, come on, you can't get any more rockin' than that. Rats in the Cellar, which is a good, you know, kind of sequel to Toys in the Attic. You got Toys in your attic, Rats in your cellar, man. So, but yeah, this is one, I mean, just the cover alone says it all. This is one that has had a huge influence on a lot of people in the music industry. James Hetfield / Kurt Cobain, Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue, they all love this album. In fact, Slash said that this was the album that like turned his switch and made him want to do rock and roll. So there you go. This is one I'm so happy to have in my collection because every time I see it out there in the wild, it's always crazy expensive. So yeah, this is one, oh man. I cannot listen to this album enough. This is a really, really fantastic album. And now we come to the one that I actually first had when I was a kid, Aerosmith's Greatest Hits. This one I remember listening to on CD and playing Donkey Kong 64. Yeah, to kind of give you an idea of how long ago that was. But this is a great one because it compiles some really, really good stuff from the first couple albums. Dream On, Same Old Song and Dance, Sweet Emotion, which is actually a shorter cut. A lot of these are shorter single cuts, so yeah, make of that what you will. And the amazing Come Together from the Sgt. Pepper soundtrack. It's good that they put it on this, so that way I can listen to it on here, not just on the crappy Sgt. Pepper soundtrack, but yeah, this one is really cool. And this was another one I was like, it's one of my childhood albums, I absolutely have to get it. Getting into something a little bit more off the beaten track here, we have Done With Mirrors, and the whole reason I bought this album was because of the song Let the Music Do the Talking. And that's a great, great song, and there's some really cool hidden gems on here. This is one that doesn't end up on a lot of like best of Aerosmith lists or anything like that, because it was kind of in the middle there. I think this was before Permanent Vacation, before they really had a strong comeback. But yeah, this is a really kind of good hidden gem. I mean, it's Aerosmith. It's classic rock and roll. Whether it came out last week or came out, you know, 30 years ago, Done With Mirrors is really, really interesting. From its packaging to its tracks, I mean, it's a really, really good album. So I definitely recommend that one if you're an Aerosmith fan. If not, maybe you want to skip it. And now, this is kind of silly, but this is the crown jewel of my Aerosmith collection because this one, I never thought I would ever have. This is 9 Lives. This album I heard when I was a freshman in high school, and I know it sounds, you know, angsty and cliche to say that, oh, the album spoke to me, man. This album spoke to me as a little freshman, you know. I was going through some stuff, discovering who I was as a person, and this album was kind of the soundtrack to that. I really love this album. When I saw that Josie Records, they put it on their website that, hey, we've got some new albums, I was like, oh, please still have that when I go down there, and they had it, and I was like, yes, mine. What's really cool about this one is that it has an extra track. It has Don't Want to Miss a Thing from the Armageddon soundtrack is on here, so you get a little bonus track. But yeah, this is obviously a reissue. I think it did get issued on vinyl when it was first released, but this is one, every single track I love to death. I really love, oh jeez, God, there's so many good ones on here. Full Circle, Ain't That a Bitch, Something's Gotta Give, Crash, Pink, Kiss Your Past Goodbye, 9 Lives, great opening track. The guys of Aerosmith, I don't think they talk about this album very nicely, and there's some critics that are like, oh, it's terrible, skip this one. I like this one. Check it out. It's got some good tracks on it. It's very different. It's very innovative for a band like Aerosmith, but yeah. But yeah, those are all the Aerosmith albums that I have personally in my collection. This is weird, doing the hands thing here, that I personally have in my collection. I love Aerosmith. I've seen them live. My dad took me to the Just Push Play tour when I was in middle school, and that really blew my mind. But yeah, I love them as artists. I love them as a band. I love them as musicians. I mean, they're just really, really good at what they do. So yeah, that is my Aerosmith vinyl collection. Hope to add more to it soon, and hopefully you guys have some Aerosmith in your collection as well. But if you're just collecting vinyl and you want some Aerosmith for your collection, I would definitely say go with the earlier stuff, because that has, you know, the big hits on there. This is a good one to start with, greatest hits, but the real, like, Volume 1, Volume 2 that you need to get is definitely Rocks and Toys in the Attic. These are two amazing albums, kind of like what the Beatles did with Rubber Soul and Revolver. It seems like it's all produced under the same roof, which it was with Jack Douglas, but yeah, good stuff. Okay, so those are all the Aerosmith albums that I have in my collection. I will see you guys next time.